Multiple reports are indicating the abortion rate increased in the United States in 2018, the year with the most complete available data. This includes a dramatic rise in the number of chemical abortions. Joining us now is Michael New, Research Associate at the Catholic University of America. Michael, welcome back. Always good to see you. So talk to us about this rise in abortions in 2018 and what spurred it.
There are a couple of things. First is public policy. Some states have enacted policies to make their abortion laws more permissive. Illinois in 2018 started covering elective abortions through their state Medicaid program. And not surprisingly, the abortion rate in Illinois went up by 9% in 2018. We've also seen a big increase in chemical abortions. Chemical abortions have been rising pretty steadily since the FDA approved RU486 back in 2000. But in the past few years, we've seen a really dramatic increase. Between 2015 and 2018, the share of abortions that were chemical abortions increased from 25% to 40%. In 2018, the number of chemical abortions increased by over 10%. So you've seen a really big increase in the number of chemical abortions, and I think that has a lot to do with the overall increase in the number of abortions that took place in 2018.
Yeah, Mike, I want to talk a little bit more about that. Why do you think pro-lifers should be particularly concerned with chemical abortions and the increase of them?
I think for a couple of reasons. First off, we've seen a number of abortion facilities close. I think there's 6 states that only have one abortion facility. And one way that people who support legal abortion are trying to expand access to abortion is by kind of promoting chemical abortions. That's one thing. Secondly, chemical abortions are dangerous. They're obviously lethal to the unborn child, but they pose greater health risks to the mother as well. I mean, there's many studies, including a very comprehensive study that looked at data from California's Medicaid program that showed complication rates are much higher with chemical abortions. So for those reasons, pro-lifers should be concerned.
We know that NBC News is actually reporting that President-elect Joe Biden is expected to quickly overturn pro-life initiatives from the Trump administration. What are your thoughts on that, and what do you think we can expect to see?
I think certainly you're going to see President Biden overturn some of the Trump administration's policies. He's certainly going to reverse the Mexico City policy. Mexico City policy is a very good pro-life policy. It prevents U.S. foreign aid money from going to NGOs that promote or perform abortion. That's going to be very likely reversed probably within the first days, if not the first day of the Biden administration. I think what's also concerning is I think the Biden administration is going to make an effort to repeal the Hyde Amendment. The Hyde Amendment is part of an appropriations bill that's passed every year. It prevents federal taxpayer dollars from funding elective abortions through the Medicaid program. There's very broad consensus that the Hyde Amendment saves tens of thousands of lives every year. So the margins the Democrats have in Congress are fairly slim. I don't think that it's a done deal that the Hyde Amendment will be repealed, but I think it's certainly something pro-lifers need to be aware of and need to push back on.
We earlier mentioned that the March for Life is going to be mostly virtual this year. Michael, I'd like to quickly get your thoughts on that.
Well, it's disappointing, but certainly understandable considering the pandemic. People's health is certainly important. I think it's also important to remember that the March for Life is a great event. It certainly raises the salience and raises the importance of sanctity of life issues. But there's all kinds of ways to build a culture of life. I'm very heartened to hear that 40 Days for Life and Live Action are encouraging people to pray outside of abortion clinics on January 29th. Here in Washington, D.C., we will have a gathering outside the D.C. Planned Parenthood. I think we're going to start at 9:30 in the morning to pray and hear some speakers, hear some presentations. So I encourage your viewers to attend that. And I would just encourage everyone to do their best to build a culture of life this coming year through educational efforts, through sidewalk counseling, through prayer. And I hope that we can all return to Washington, D.C., January of 2022 for hopefully be a bigger and better March for Life.
Yeah, I think we're all hoping for that, too. Thank you so much, Michael, for your analysis. We really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.